Hey, this is Scott. So, welcome back. We're going to continue on with this series on the Executive Guide to AI and Analytics. I'm essentially going to cover the entire book here in the series. Um, and I hope you join me for EG00, which was the very first of the series, and it kind of outlines what I really intend to do here. So, let's look at where we are. So right now we're at EG03, and we're going to talk about overcoming AI and analytics failure in this video. You can see last time I did a story of failure, and this will be the progression, and I'll update this as we go along. Let's talk about AI and analytics failure and how to overcome it, right? I love this quote. I'm a big quote guy. No excuses, no explanation. You don't win on emotion. You win on execution. And absolutely, you're scored by what you get done, not your intentions most of the time. So you have to be able to execute. And we'll be talking about that a lot. We'll be talking about strategy aligned with execution. That neither one should be done in isolation. They need to be done together. So, the executive guide addresses the fundamentals of people, culture, strategy, and execution. And this is meant for leaders and execution makers. Getting these fundamentals wrong really for the primary gaps between having an AI and analytics program that fails or one that's truly successful. And so, really, that's it in a nutshell. If you have these right, your chances of succeeding are greatly improved. Two of these, people and culture, are part of what we call the six foundations, and we'll illustrate those in just a second. Um, and we've written about the other four previously elsewhere that are not associated with root causes such as data and more technology pieces of the thing. So we're going to dive a bit deeper into the six towards the end of the book and the six foundations for AI and analytics success section. And we'll provide some references as well. So let's just dive into this a little bit deeper. So these are the six that I was just referring to. Probably should have shown that up front. And we've written on data knowledge and AI and analytics knowledge, the technology stack, really in the a couple other books that we've done, and at the very end of this, I'll show you what we've written. But I'm going to, and by the way, so leave a comment if you want me to go further into that, but or if you want me to do a series on those books as well. But let's just jump into really what a leader's job is immediately, and so this is the in a nutshell, this book, if you've been listening to the series, is more about the non-technological. It's about the executive position and what executives need to get done to succeed in analytics. And really, here it is, right? So, leaders really have two jobs, two principal jobs: developing the strategy and then executing the strategy. That's it. That's it. What needs to be done? Create a plan, make the plan reality, execute. That's it. Yeah, I mean, it sounds really easy. And yeah, there are other jobs that leaders undertake, but there are no more important jobs than strategy development and making that strategy happen. Those really are what divides successful leaders versus non-successful leaders. And so, which one of these things is taught in business school? Strategy or execution? Which one of these is sexier? Strategy or execution? And which one is going to be applauded by the press? Strategy or execution? It's all developing strategy. You're going to see that over and over and over again. You'll see it in the media, you'll see it in business school, etc. But really, what's the hardest? It's execution, right? It's executing strategy is the most difficult part, and we don't talk about that. and it's not taught really, and it's not explicitly written about, mainly because that's not as exciting. So if you look at the root causes of failure in AI analytics program, this is the execution piece that I was just speaking to. And it is a requirement that organizations that are failing to deliver successfully upon, right? Organizations are investing the money. They have the right technology. They have the right technical talent, really, for the most part. What they're really lacking more than anything else is the leadership to bring it all together. So organizations need leaders that can develop plans to execute and then execute the plans. And we're going to be talking basically this book is about those two pieces. And so when companies fail to deliver on their promises, the most frequent explanation is that leadership strategy was wrong. No, that's not it. Strategy in itself is only one piece, and most often strategies fail because they're not executed well. They aren't executed well because one of the strategy was poorly constructed, right? So it was either constructed without the end in mind, how we're going to get to the how. In other words, it's just the what, but how are we going to get it done? That's missing. Or what we want to do, part of the strategy is. And one of the problems is that strategy is constructed within the inner circle, right? Within the executive suite, right? It's done in isolation. And it's great to be part of that executive suite, right? Executive leadership. You're in the inner circle. It's a powerful feeling to get the elite, to be part of the elite club. For this reason, decisions are often made without considering the how that we just went through. How are we going to get it done? So without including all levels of the entire organization, you're going to be missing that input. And so strategy development has to include the entire organization. Non-specific strategies like revenue growth or increased market share or margin growth or cost reduction without considering every level. And moreover, corporate campaigns like diversity, social responsibility, work-life balance, employee health, these lofty, big things, they may be important, but these strategies are often created by the select few, and they don't get executed successfully deep within the organization. So I'll just leave it to you. This vignette is about basically business schools, right? Again, to go back to where we first started, what's sexy and what's not. And execution and strategy are a leader's job, and strategy is well taught. We spend a lot of times, there are a lot of books written on strategy. There's very few written on execution. And another quote, which I like, education without execution is extinction. Bo Sanchez. So, all right, with that, we'll wrap it up. Here is ways that you can contact me. I was referring to a couple of other books that we've written, part 1 and part 2, the blue and gold books on more of the technology stack. You'll find some information there on getting that right, and then certainly we'll be talking more about the executive's job in this book here. So, hope you can join me again. Thanks.